everyone. Welcome. I saw a post yesterday that said, Happy Config Week to all who celebrate. So I'm so happy to be here to celebrate the faith of design with you all this week, and also even more pumped to rediscover design collaboration with Atlassian and Figma. Shall we get started? All right. Meeting fatigue. Too many channels. Low psych safety. Unclear decisions, and no time to focus. Does anyone here feel these regularly throughout your day? Yes, lots of nods, lots of hands. The common thread here is all of these words are pulled from research on what people associate with the word collaboration. Hi, my name is Christina Nguyen White, and I am here today to challenge these associations because we are in a distinctly powerful time. A time to redesign collaboration in 2025. The idea of collaboration is not new, but the definition has radically changed. It's no longer about getting things done faster. Collaboration is about how you reach extraordinary results. It fuels progress, it sparks innovation. A team's combined efforts often lead to big breakthroughs. And today, I want to share tips with you and learnings as someone who's been on the front lines of collaboration and these material shifts. Let's even just talk about the last few years. Y'all may have even forgotten how we used to work, but we've had a few shakeups on how we work as designers, forcing us to transform and continually redefine what collaboration means. First, we had this rigidity that the required way to get stuff done was to be in a building together, where real-life FaceTime was the only way to influence as a designer. Remember how hard it was to even step out for a dentist appointment? And when we adjusted to the transition to remote FaceTime, the rise of digital tools and digital workspace became an overload of noise and a paradox of choice of which app to use when. As the market and economy continue to be unpredictable, we've grown a new muscle to do more with less. Have you had a moment yet where your boss has asked you to be that full stack designer? So can you research, design, and also write that front-end code for me? Okay, cool. Or not cool. And of course, the ever-evolving technology of AI is taking the mundane out of our work, but it's also requiring us to be in a reactive state to keep up, challenging us to become overnight AI experts in both what we design and how we design it. What this now means is your tool stack is a key driver to your company's culture. What used to be an IT decision is now also a people and HR decision, because the weight and importance of our digital products and workflows have significantly increased, even becoming a decision criteria of where people choose to work or not to work. As a designer and leader, I've been working in the productivity and collaboration space almost half of my career. After my Mad Men agency era, I began my tech era at Google, where I delivered real-time collaboration for millions of daily active users, then transformed how people work using video to communicate with Loom video messages. And now, after Loom's acquisition by Atlassian, Loom is now part of the Atlassian family with Confluence, Jira, Rovo AI, and more. We're changing the way both engineer and non-engineers work together to unleash the potential of every team. With each chapter, I've seen these major waves of change firsthand. With Google, while it seems commonplace now, live collaboration was extremely uncomfortable when Google Docs, Slides, and Sheets came to the market. It required a vulnerability of putting your work out there for all to see, all while you're putting it on paper. And I remember when Figma shook the design world, there were only a few brave souls on my team that were willing to design in the open. With video, considering the number of hours we doom scroll on social media, consuming shorthand reels and stories, we suddenly get camera shy and stage fright when recording a video for work. These mental hurdles made it tough for us as designers to adopt video. Not only were we sharing our work for all to see, but we were also putting our faces and voices out there too. And now, with Jira, Confluence, and Loom, we're transforming how these apps work more seamlessly together with Rovo AI, but that requires an inherent trust with your team's data. For each and every team, the discomfort was always a change of behavior. It's easy to learn a new app, but it's much harder to adapt to the softer skills around it. And the tension was especially felt by me. As someone obsessed with building culture, I had to walk the walk and really lean in to how teams work in ways that I wasn't even versed in. But time and again, the outcome of the work always outweighed the discomfort. The difference of where we were and where we are now is that collaboration is less about producing output and more about reaching outcomes. Where a doc is no longer a doc, but just a means to an end to get to a better strategy. A video is a means to an end to get design feedback faster, to get to a better design. At Atlassian, we believe teamwork drives the best outcomes. We empower organizations of all sizes to accomplish what would otherwise be impossible alone. From everyday tasks to extraordinary feats, when we collaborate, we create something bigger and better than what any of us could have done alone. So today, I'm going to share with you 3 truths that I believe redesign collaboration, and I'll demo a few practical examples within our own Atlassian system of work. Truth number 1, effective meetings are greater value than canceled meetings. Don't get me wrong, I jump for joy when that status meeting is canceled and my time is freed up for my day, but the reality is we can't get rid of meetings completely. Today, workers cite that almost 3/4 of their meetings are simply ineffective, and that drives half of the people into overtime to get their work actually done. How many times do we ask ourselves, when do I have time to actually design? Let me highlight a few common scenarios and demo how Loom, Confluence, and Jira helps you get unstuck from meetings. That feeling when I spent the entire time presenting and ran out of time for feedback. You spent all this time preparing for the review, but you, as the maker, didn't get anything back in return. Let me show you how we use pre-watch videos, giving designers the perfect human way to present work before the meeting, giving you space to discuss. For an upcoming design review, Loom allows our designers to record our presentations ahead of the meeting as a pre-watch. We pan through live screens without ever having to over-prepare the perfect presentation. And then after recording, Loom instantly renders that video, generating AI auto titles, auto summaries, and even automatically removing the ums and the ahs so you can share it immediately. We can then insert the video directly into our Confluence agenda doc, making it lightning fast to add rich context to that agenda. And with the Figma and Confluence integration, we can also link the Figma file itself, panning through the Figma without ever having to leave. So, once that live review occurs, we spend less time presenting and more time discussing the actual feedback. Another scenario, that review meeting wraps, and you walk away without a clue of what decisions were made. So did I hear that I need to redesign the entire flow, or am I only changing the copy of the page title? Very, very different types of feedback. Anyone relate? Now, we can just simply connect our calendars to Loom AI to record meetings. So when it's time to meet, Loom AI joins our Zoom call alongside the other participants. It's recording and transcribing the meeting, eliminating the need for anyone to take a single note. And once that meeting's over, AI recaps all this information into the team's Confluence page. The recap has timestamped action items, a summary, all links shared in the meeting, and the full meeting recording. Furthermore, with AI, we can easily turn those action items into Jira work items directly and assign owners, which ensures the work discussed in the meeting is actually moving forward, again, without typing a single note. What we just saw was the power of video to boost more effective meetings. But even more powerful is our voice as designers is taking center stage, and we're owning the representation of our work. So once that meeting starts, the designer has more influence because there's a shared understanding and purpose. The outcome of more effective meetings is that collaboration thrives when communication is meaningful. Empty discussions waste time, but intentional dialogue accelerates progress, strengthens relationships, and drives results. True communication ensures every voice is heard and actively contributing to something greater. Truth number 2, gaining knowledge should be instant. The lack of context and the need to chase down information to get our work done are among the biggest frustrations. According to the Atlassian State of Teams research, only 20% of knowledge workers have an effective process for quickly informing other teams of decisions that may impact their work. That means 80% are unable to effectively communicate those decisions. I'll walk through a few familiar moments. That feeling when I get daily DMs with the question, hey, can you share that Figma file? Where your team, partners, stakeholders are constantly looking for the work. So rather than searching for the files, I'll show you how we embed them where we're already working. When we sync our Figma account to our Confluence account, we're able to easily insert relevant Confluence docs as widgets alongside the work, adjusting how we want the information to be conveyed. So from PRDs to research reports, the context behind the design is always within reach. Similarly, for issue tracking, I can easily embed full Figma files into any Jira ticket, which syncs the Figma file status and last updated date, confirming I'm always looking at the latest and greatest. And when I inspect in Figma, that Jira ticket is synced in Figma, pulling up the latest attributes for the ticket and the designs, so I never have to leave where I'm working throughout the development cycle. Another feeling. I'm ramping onto a new project, and I'm just doused with a fire hose of documentation, which causes slower onboarding. With our Rovo AI agents, I've created a custom agent that leans on all of the data across our company's workspace. In this case, I created a research persona agent, and when I ask to learn what we know about the software engineer persona, it synthesizes the related content across our entire company's information and writes back a concise synopsis, citing the relevant source docs if I want to dive deeper in the same window, and even sharing the people working on the topic that I can tap as subject matter experts. So, when we bring the content to where we're already working and contextually summarize with AI, gaining knowledge will be instant. Information won't exist in a silo anymore. Everything will be linked, updated, and adapted as needed. And that dynamic, living content fuels more confident decisions when it's based on current contextual knowledge rather than outdated files. Last truth, audio and visual is the new way to write. We know there's an inherent pain point in documentation. It's time-consuming, it's quickly outdated, if not immediately outdated, and you often need more context behind the words themselves. A few more scenarios on where writing is simply painful. Let's take that feeling where you're sitting at a blank screen with writer's block. You know you have to write that documentation, but just dread the time doing it, and it slows the rest of your team down. So let me show you how we overcame this with AI. In this case, I want to walk my team through how to add our Atlassian icons to their component library. I use Loom to record a walkthrough, recording a live step-by-step over that Figma file. Once I stop recording, AI detects that this Loom could be a how-to guide and should suggest transforming this video into a standard operating procedure doc, also known as an SOP. Not only does AI use the video transcript to break down the steps one by one, but it also takes static screenshots of my video to give a visual to each step. Furthermore, I can directly transform this into a Confluence doc where my broader team is already working, all within a click. And how about that feeling when you've got to log a design bug, but it takes too long to explain in writing, or you need to set up a meeting with an engineer to walk through it? Here, I found a 404 error in our web app and record a Loom walking through reproducing the bug. After recording, the transcript of this Loom suggests that the video is, in fact, a bug report. AI transforms this video into just that, outlining the steps to reproduce by video timestamp that allows any engineer to easily follow. And similarly, I can port this directly into a Jira task into my existing project with all the repro steps, giving the rest of the team the info they need to make sure the product works flawlessly. What we saw was how audio and visual transform to text. The future of work will be multimodal if it isn't already. And AI content transformation will materially change how we brainstorm, how we strategize, how we code, and endless more scenarios, thus giving us a natural way to express messy ideas, capture initial thoughts, and get rapid feedback. The different modes of creation allows an outcome where everyone is empowered to share valuable ideas, regardless of their communication style. Personally, I've noticed how design has a much more prominent voice because the entire org, relative to places that I've worked without video, it just simply levels the playing field. So, to recap, 3 truths you can start practicing today with your teams. 1, effective meetings are greater value than canceled meetings. 2, gaining knowledge should be instant. And 3, audio and visual is the new way to write. So I've walked through a lot of demo examples, and you're probably asking, does she actually work like this? The answer is absolutely yes. So I'm going to show you 2 behind-the-scenes examples of just that. One is how I even prepared for this config talk today. When I first was writing the project brief for this talk in Confluence, I embedded all of my Figma storyboards for the demos you saw today. I also embedded the Figma slide deck, and no DMs yet asking for my files. And instead of scheduling review meetings with multiple different people, I recorded one single video walkthrough of my draft talk track and slides, blasted it to a number of channels, my design team, our comms team, leadership, my trusted buds. 30+ views and 20+ comments later, my talk track was immediately up-leveled in the span of just a few hours, and I didn't meet with a single person. And here's a peek into my own Loom library. I've got a meeting recording which the team used to recap the storyboards we handed off for the demos. They hit the ground running without ambiguity of direction. I used Rovo agents to help me on board on all of the knowledge share we have about collaboration, citing the research facts you saw today, and used Loom to talk out loud my voiceover that I then used to generate my Confluence script. And finally, I'm going to share a mega example with you of a company-wide collaboration on how we, as a company at Atlassian, prepared for our team conference, which is our annual customer conference attended by over 5,000 people. Let's take a look.
We've got 26 days to go to team. This is your show. It's going to reflect our quality as a team. Team is one of the most important events of the year for us at Atlassian, is where we share all of our latest and greatest innovation with our customers.
There's not one person in the whole company that this event does not touch in some way or another.
This team event is probably the biggest one we've ever had. We're expecting around 5,000 in-person attendees.
This year we'll have over 100 sessions, 40 customer speakers, 3 keynotes, 7 super sessions, and we're supported by over 90 sponsors. And if that wasn't enough, we even have the Atlassian Williams Racing show card that will be on the expo floor.
For an event as big as Team, it's quite a complex undertaking.
We have so many moving pieces and so many requests.
We're a distributed company, which means that our marketing team is across 6 different time zones, and they have to collaborate really tightly to pull off this event.
We are able to manage an event of this size using the Atlassian Teamwork Collection. It's how we're able to stay on track and make sure nothing is falling behind.
We just have to make sure every team is aligned to the right goals and to the same goals.
Team 25 has over 3,000 Jira deliverables that we're tracking to make sure they're all on time. Not only are internal teams working on Jira, but so are all of our 80+ agency partners. Every task, every deliverable, every decision is logged in Jira. When you see that green box light up, it's really satisfying.
Confluence is a collaborative workspace where we can all work together on strategy and planning pages. It also has a whiteboard capability where we can brainstorm ideas for something like Team. Loom enables our distributed teams to collaborate with each other across many different time zones. So I could record part of the keynote, share it with my CEO.
G'day folks, this is
And he can review it, provide feedback and comments asynchronously.
That's why we put Rovo at the very center of our portfolio.
Nice. I wouldn't have Rovo be in the middle of the slide then.
I don't know how we would do it without Loom.
Rovo brings it all together. It's our AI that can help us find information and answer questions very, very quickly.
When we're down here rehearsing for this keynote, sometimes you need something really specific, it could be hard to find, but now we can just ask Rovo and get it immediately.
When the lights dim in the keynote room, the music kicks in, we press go. You look around, you see people so enthralled in what we're doing.
Atlassian CEO and co-founder Mike Adam-Brooks.
Welcome to Anaheim and welcome to Team 25.
And that's why I love events.
Thank you. The days of creating in isolation are over. When powered by a connected web of AI-assisted tools, we bring back a fluidity of work and an ease of working that simply empowers us as humans. So my call to action to you today is, how will you redesign collaboration for your team? Thank you.